Hi, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We'll play some more of this. Let's go. Here we are. This is the scene of the crime. I wonder what awaits us there. These prison cells are where suspects are held whilst they await trial. Visiting is permitted at certain times. Let's go. I'm sure we can go. I think. Hopefully. We'll see. Local prison, cell 9. That's a kind of a nice cell. I mean, so these are British prison cells. Ah, the bug. Oh, they're ghastly. It feels just like a dungeon. Yes, and having experienced it in Japan myself, I can assure you that our wooden cells feel a lot cozier than these cold stone walls. Oh, don't, Mr. Naruhodo. You're making it seem worse. Apparently, our client is in this cell here, but it's so dark at the back there, I can't make him out. I wonder what he's like. Inmate 53, your legal representative is here to see you. Stop hiding at the back of the cell and show your face at once. Am I a cat as yet with no name? Calling me by a number. It's utterly, unbelievably, unjustly unreasonable. I refuse to answer. I mean, he's got a point. Mr. Naruhodo, what do you think is going on here? I have no idea, but I wasn't just hearing things, was I? That tirade of complaints was in Japanese. Oh! Oh. Oh, he looks a little... Look at his eyebrows and his eyes and his mustache. Excuse me, but who... Quiet. Oh. They're all around, hiding. I know they are. They're watching, listening. Even now. I can sense it. Oh, he's like... I thought he was just throwing up signs. Right. So, could I ask you who... There you are. You've come to curse me, haven't you? Don't try to hide it. You're a ghost. A ghost? He's really twitchy. We mean you no harm, prisoner-san. Are you... Japanese by any chance? Oh. Oh. His eyes are really cute. This is beyond my wildest dreams. Ow, 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 ow. Okay. Forgive me for that outburst before. I'm so sorry. Oh, it's fine. We were just a little surprised, that's all. Imagine it! It's been 12 long months since I left my hometown, and here I am, in a frightful fix in a foreign land. Oh. So hearing the sweet, sentimental tones of a compatriot's voice here in this damp, dark hellhole was a most monumental, moving moment. Who could have guessed that this new client Lord Strongheart assigned to us would turn out to be a fellow Japanese? What compassion my fellow countrymen show. To dispatch a first-class lawyer all the way from Japan to defend a mere foreign student. Oh, he's a student? Noble, nurturing, never failing, Nippon. A first-class lawyer? Oh dear, I think there's been something of a misunderstanding here. I wonder, would you be so kind as to tell us what's happened? Why you've been detained as a suspect, for example? Yes, I can, I will. Shan't stay sullen and silent. I like these moves. I'm not quite sure I understand what he means, but he seems happy. Yes, he does. I just hope he actually has a good reason to be. Thank you for your cooperation. I am a lawyer, as you said. My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. And I am Naruhodo-san's judicial assistant, Susato Mikotoba. I am a visiting student sent here by our government. Notoriously named Natsume, Soseki Natsume. Okay. Soseki Natsume. San? What an unusual name. Is it? Call me Soseki, please. I'm a poet, you see. A writer of haiku. Oh. It's something of a nom de plume. A nom de plume? You mean an alias? Isn't that exactly what that means? That's right, Naruhodo-san. No. Don't be so prosaic. It's much more refined than that. And haiku. That really reminds me of home. Did I hear you say that you were a visiting student sent over here by the government? Yes, that's right. A year ago, I was told to go and study English. First, I had to suffer that misery, and now this, it's beyond the pale. Suffer that misery? Did you not want to study here? No, I mean, I've had an interest in Great Britain for some years, of course. Oh. But just because the government tells you to do something doesn't mean you can do it? No. What do you mean? If they told me to study English literature, that I could have understood. That's my field. But no, they told me to study the English language. Utterly, unbelievably, unjustly unreasonable. I see. Only the other day, I was told to send a report about my first year here. I tendered a blank piece of paper. Wise words on whitewashy. Oh, the little like. You must be a man of great standing. Oh yes, so I'm often told. And often like to be told, it seems. Okay, well, let's talk about the accusation. Did you or did you not stab this lady in the back? Could you perhaps tell us exactly what you've been arrested? Why you've been arrested, Soseki-san? Soseki-san. I didn't do it. I didn't commit that atrocious murder. No, it's alright. The woman didn't actually die, did she? Oh yeah, that's right, she's in the hospital. But she was stabbed with a knife right before my eyes. Before your eyes? You mean you saw the attacker? I didn't see anyone. What? If I'd seen the person who did it, do you think I'd be locked up in here? Oh dear, it seems this case is becoming rather complicated. Why me? Why me? Why did that silly woman have to be stabbed in front of me? It's the curse of London. It's incredibly, inexcusably, irritatingly inconvenient. So, Soseki-san was there at the scene, but he didn't see the attacker. It's vital that we find out more about the case. Okay, about the case. It was an accursed evening, just after the snow had started to clear and heavy with fog. I'd been to the bookshop to buy some books, and I was on my way back to my accursed lodgings. Sure the bookshop wasn't accursed too? As I was walking along that accursed pavement, I could make out the sole silhouette of another ahead of me. A woman wearing a green overcoat she was, and just as I went to overtake her... Oh. Wait, is that a different woman? She suddenly let out a little scream and collapsed onto the cold, hard slabs of stone at my feet. How terrible. I called out to the woman, but she didn't move. It was like a ghostly, ghoulish, grim graveyard. Oh, he is so shaky. Slight exaggeration there, perhaps. I was terrified. I had to get away from there. So I ran as fast as my legs would carry me back to my accursed lodgings. That's not good. They'll say it was shameful, I know, to run away like that. He's so twitchy. Tell me, Soseki-san, was the victim an acquaintance of yours? Don't be ridiculous. Do you think I know any of these fair-haired English? And a young woman at that? I'm diffident, shy, timid, unsure. I can't talk to people. I see. A young woman unknown to Soseki-san. And at the time it happened, who else did you see nearby? Did anybody pass you? Regrettably. Apart from myself and the woman, I didn't see a soul. No one. Oh, great. So the victim was unknown to you and there's nobody else on the street at the time. That creates something of a conundrum, doesn't it? A little bit. Okay. Yeah, because there's nobody else there who could have stabbed her. What do you mean? What's the conundrum? Well, if what Sasaki-san has just told us is true, there's something I can't explain. He says that he didn't know the victim and that there was no one else at the scene. Then he apparently fled without having been seen. Oh, yeah. But if that's the case, surely this man has to be the culprit. What did you say? Nothing. I didn't say anything. Oops, perhaps I thought that a little too loudly. Oh my god. Wait, he's been there for a year? Oh no, he's been studying for a year. Oh, okay. Actually, that's not what was troubling me. What I was thinking was, how did Soseki-san actually come to be arrested? He did touch the victim and there was nobody at the scene to see him, so how did the police ever discover that he was there in the first place? Oh yeah, she's right. Duh! It was him. That accursed great detective. He led the police to me! Oh. Of all the bad luck. Accursed great detective? Could it— oh, that was Ryunosuke. I shall never forget that man's name as long as I live. With his haughty laugh and his self-proclaimed greatness. Brash, big-headed, busybody, be gone. May you be cursed until the end of your days, Herlock Sholmes. I knew it. Mr. Sholmes? Yep, let's talk about Mr. Sholmes. Well, I didn't expect to hear that name from this man's lips, that's for sure. It was the morning after that nightmare had unfolded on the pavement before me. I was gnawing on a sliver of hard cheese when some men suddenly bursted through my door. They started shouting at me. This is the police, put the weapon down. Yes, it was a thin sliver, and yes, it was hard, but I wasn't eating a weapon. Disgusting, dietary discrimination devils. Whoops. You clearly had a trying morning yesterday. And there he was, in the middle of all the policemen, grinning like a Cheshire cat. That Herlock Sholmes. It's actually— is it Hairlock or Herlock? I don't even know. He's English. I think it's Herlock. I've since found out that he's a famous name in detection here in London. Yes, the great detective is really very well known. And his overly sharp mind managed to deduce my whereabouts, apparently. He thinks I'm the knife-wielding madman. Me, this weak, stooped kitten of a man. Stooped kitten. I wonder what great deduction process led him to his conclusion this time. Do you mean to say that Mr. Sholmes' deduction was the only reason the police arrested you? That would be really most unreasonable. He's like, yeah, you think? Well, the thing is, I actually did do it. I was thrown into a panic when they barged their way in. Of course you were. That's only natural. I was terrified and trembling, and they kept throwing question after question at me in impossible English. Fiendish, foreign, flimflammery. Well, we are in England. You can't really blame them for questioning you in English. Good point, good point. But my mind went blank. I knew I had to answer, but I didn't know what to say. So I just kept repeating things like, yes, I do, and I'm fine. The next thing I knew, I was in manacles, and before I knew it, I was thrown in here. Oh dear, I'm afraid that's hardly surprising. I'm fine. He's not fine now. Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Oh, you can just call me Naruhodo. And when we're speaking English, a simple Mr. is more than enough. Oh, yes. All right. Yes. They've really got to me. This country is poisoning my mind. But please, I beg you to defend me in court tomorrow. You could tell them what really happened. You'll do it, won't you? But we don't know what really happened. Why is it so hard to say yes to me? Well, the thing is, I'm just a student like yourself on a study tour. A student? I've defended a case in the Old Bailey. Only the one, though. But at this moment in time, I really don't know what I'm supposed to believe in. I'm confused about what justice in this country even means. Oh, shit. Oh, Naruhodo. I'm not even the foreign student who was supposed to be here. I'm a sort of a locum lawyer, I suppose. But that armband, that's the mark of a defense lawyer from our great empire. It's a keepsake from the man who should have been here. He was my best friend. A keepsake? What could this mean? I know exactly what they're saying about me. Oh, who do you mean? The lawyers. All the British defense lawyers. They won't defend me. Goodness, why do you say that? For the same reason as you noted before, when it happened. There was only the victim and myself around, and I ran away from the scene of the crime. I'm not a fool. I know it looks as though I must be the culprit. It must be very hard for you, Soseki-san. And anyway, I'm a student from overseas. I'm just a foreign nobody to them. Someone not to be trusted. I heard them openly laughing about me before, in my earshot, without any compunction at all. Any trial for this man would be a waste of time, they said, and of course the foreigner did it. They even had the gall to say, the man doesn't understand half of what he's being said anyway. Oh, that's awful. They're wrong. I've studied more English than half of the policemen out there on the streets. I've traveled halfway across the world to learn about these people's country and its great history. But no one here wants to listen to a man with a strange accent. They all hate me. So, at the very least, I'd like to entrust my fate to someone who can listen to me in my native tongue. You could do it, couldn't you? When I look into your eyes, I can see it. I can see what you've been through. Soseki-san, it's just that I'm still a student. Give me a little time, please. I'll do what I can, for the time being. What do you mean? We shall investigate the case as thoroughly as possible. If we can find some clues, it will give us a much better chance, I'm sure. Nice. Oh, yes, thank you. I'll be here, all alone, waiting for you, locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. We should be going then, Naruhodo. We have a case to prepare for. Okay. Let's go to Briar Road then. See what's there. Oh, it's so nice. It's so snow. Oh, that bike tire. It's busted up. Daily news. So, this is where it happened, Briar Road. Ah, look, Mr. Naruhodo. That's the crime scene. Look at that regulation metal helmet. It's unmistakable. The men of Scotland Yard are here. They're investigating as we speak. That is their job, you know. But Mr. Naruhodo, to see one with my own eyes. They're often depicted in the adventures of Sherlock Holmes, but I never dreamt I'd ever come this close. They're wearing the same uniform as the guys in the courtroom. What a weirdo. To a real Bobby's helmet. What? The helmet? Hee Of course, I have to try one on one day. I hope your Hattie dream comes true. Oh, hello again. What's the Japanese delegation doing here? Oh, Inspector Gregson. This isn't the tourist trail, as I'm fairly sure you're well aware. Yes, of course. We're here to investigate. So, you've been to the holding cells then. What do you make of the criminal? He's not a criminal, as you put it, Inspector. He's a suspect. We'll see about that. You Japanese like to stick together, I suppose. Racist. Well, do what you will. It doesn't bother me. The bloke's in court tomorrow, whatever happens, and the verdict's a foregone conclusion. Ugh, the stone-cold air of rejection. Fucker. Take heart. London at this time of year is full of stone-cold air. What? That makes it worse somehow. Also, that was in our head. How did she know? Scotland Yard. Okay, what happened there? Tell us. Tell me about Scotland Yard, Inspector. Ever since I read about it in The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, I've been fascinated by the place. The Yard is the most sophisticated policing organization you'll find anywhere in the world, ma'am. Oh, and you know I've always dreamt of wearing a real Bobby's helmet. Okay. It does make them look the part, seeing that policeman there with his helmet on. You certainly get the sense that this is a man who will take no nonsense in his duty of protecting the city. What? Oh yes, doesn't he look wonderful? Being a London Bobby is hard going, I can tell you. Oh, really? First thing in the morning, you know what he does? He goes around and rouses all the laborers on his beat so they can get off to work. And he has a cup of coffee. It's hard work. What? He wakes people up. Yep, raps on their windows with a long pole. Did it myself, going back a bit. I had no idea. The Bobby works for the people of the town. It's just another one of his duties. After that, he starts tirelessly patrolling the streets all day long. Sounds like he does a lot of nothing to me. He has to cover 20 miles a day. That's the regulation distance. I can't really imagine how far that is, but it sounds like a long way. Yep. Let me see. 20 miles. I mean, Europeans don't even use miles. What? That's approximately the distance from Tokyo to Yokohama. On foot? That's definitely taking things a step too far. And when it gets dark, of course, he has the important job of lighting all the gas street lamps. I forgot that was a thing. They don't just come on automatically. What kind of country is this? And I suppose in between all these duties, Bobbies are expected to investigate cases as well? And chase after criminals, trying to evade the law. I'm not sure you could call it in between exactly. Move more alongside, but yes. Okay. They're expected to handle those jobs as well. We do have men keeling over from time to time, I admit. Okay, like passing out? I'd always dreamt of wearing one of those helmets, as I said. Okay, we get it. But it's with a heavy heart that I shall have to relinquish that dream to you, Mr. Naruhodo. Your heavy heart will be my heavy head if you do. Okay, weird. Oops. Okay, well, whatever. That twitchy Japanese bloke goes on trial tomorrow. Are you gonna defend him or not? Well, maybe. If we find more clues. Makes no difference to me, but I will just say this. No London lawyer worth his salt would touch that case with a barge pole. Because the prosecution is being handled by the Reaper of the Bailey, you mean? There's no way to save the man now. It's a waste of time trying. Oh, that's sad. It is all a bit strange, though. Sorry? The Reaper. He hasn't appeared in court once for a good few years now. Except for yesterday. Yes, we did hear something to that effect. Was he, like, hibernating? And the only people he usually bothers with are the real scum, the master criminals, the violent ones. Oh, so why would he be in this trial? That's right, he handpicks his victims, only deals with those guaranteed to go to the gallows for their sins. But Mr. Natsume wouldn't hang for what he's accused of, surely. That's just my point, Sunshine. Yes, the young woman was stabbed, but it didn't kill her. Couldn't even say the intent was there. So this isn't the sort of case I'd be expecting the Reaper to want to sink his teeth into, for want of a better phrase. Well, it's not exactly a minor infraction, is it? No, there's got to be more to it. Some reason he's taken interest. Really? What sort of reason? Okay. You think I can tell what's going on inside the head of that Lord of Darkness? You'll have to ask him yourself at tomorrow's trial. Are we really going to have to face the Reaper again? The Lord of Darkness, as he put it? I mean, I'm excited. It happened at around 5 in the evening, 2 days ago, just there, on that open bit of pavement. The victim, a young woman, was stabbed with a blade from behind. Is it right that the lady is still unconscious now? You mentioned that she's being treated in hospital. I never said she was a lady. Truth is, unless she comes around pretty smartish, we won't be able to find out much about her at all. I suppose that means they haven't been able to take a statement from her, of course. Yeah. Here's a map of the local area I happen to have on me. You can take it if you want. Really? Are you sure? It's yard policy to give lawyers, defendant, suspects the odd bit of information to go on. Well, I haven't actually accepted the job yet, but still. People keep just assuming that I'm gonna take over the case because I tell myself I'm a lawyer. Nice, okay. Great. Anyway. As far as we know, there was no one else on the scene other than the victim and your fellow countrymen. So, who did it, do you think? Oh yeah, I already know who did it. Not much of a head scratcher, is it? Well, I know Mr. Natsume is also claiming not to have seen anyone else around, but just because he didn't see anyone, it doesn't mean we can be sure that nobody else was present. That's right. I'm sorry to have to tell you, but we most certainly can be sure. How? Because, ma'am, the precise moment of the stabbing didn't go unnoticed. Oh, so there was someone. We have, two. We have 2 very reliable witnesses, no less. Are they reliable? It was a typical foggy London day, and your client obviously didn't see them. So how are we so sure the witnesses saw anything, if it's foggy? This is getting ridiculous already. We haven't even gotten to the courtroom, and it's already getting ridiculous. Who are these witnesses, Inspector? A fella and his wife. And the man's one of the most reliable and respected citizens in all of London. He's a copper from Scotland Yard. Oh, so we know his word is true. Okay, anyway. A policeman. That might change things. And this policeman just happened to be there at the exact moment the woman was attacked? Yeah. Nothing peculiar about that, man. Part and parcel of being a bobby. Oh, he was a bobby. But why was his wife there? While he's working? Catching the bang in the... What? What are they doing? Do you think it might be possible for us to ask that policeman a few questions? Be my guest. You can ask him what you like in court tomorrow. Oh. I've no doubt he'll be summoned as a witness. So that'll give you something to look forward to. That's that then. He's got no interest in letting us meet the man beforehand, it seems. Yeah, I guess not. A policeman witnessed the incident. As your judicial assistant, I must warn you that this could make our job very difficult indeed. Yes, as a non-judicial assistant, I could have warned me of that too. It's a weird sentence. Oh yes, one more thing, Inspector. The person who led you to the suspect. I hear that was Mr. Sherlock Holmes. What are you bringing him up for? Was it something I said? The color has drained from his cheeks. That's suspicious. Talk. I want you to talk. Who did you hear that name from? Oh, well, it was Mr. Natsume who mentioned it. He said that Mr. Sholmes was with the police when they entered his lodgings. I'm sure it was the result of one of Mr. Sholmes' inspirational great deductions. Fiddle faddle. Oh shit. The man's an amateur, and I'm getting sick and tired of him showing his mug everywhere. Oh. I don't know where he gets his information from, but he turns up at the scene of the crime. Wanders around spouting incomprehensible rubbish. I almost said bullshit. And before you know it, he claims to have solved the case. Yes, he's quite astounding, isn't he? He is a great help to Scotland Yard, though, isn't he? Gibble gabble. Okay. Ever seen this before? Oh yes, the Ron's magazine. The wonderful publication in which the adventures of Sherlock Holmes appears. Yes, well, that wonderful publication, as you put it, sees fit to include several of the Yard's detectives in its stories. And the so-called great detective makes a mockery of all of us. If you ask anyone at the Yard, it's a misadventure to be included in any Sherlock Holmes tale at all. Well, I suppose there is an element of that. We work our socks off, every one of us, only to be frumped by the public thanks to that obnoxious detective. The man's as dangerous to us as Scotland Yard. Wait. The man's as dangerous to us at Scotland Yard as he is to all our criminals. That can't really be true, can it, Inspector? Clearly, the great detective and the police have a complex relationship. Well, I don't think we're going to get any more useful information on the detective. Okay, who do we talk to now? Mr. Naruhodo, can I make a suggestion? Oh, yeah, what is it? Well, it seems to me that we must speak with him about this. Oh, by him you mean Sherlock Holmes? Yes, Mr. Sherlock Holmes, exactly. Look at those shining eyes. You can't wait, can you? Well, Mr. Natsume did blame Mr. Holmes for all of this, didn't he? Yes, he did. He really did. Which makes him an involved party in the case. Are you just going to ignore that? I hope not. I assure you, it's not simply my selfish desire to meet Mr. Holmes again. The trouble is, that is exactly what it is. The trouble is, we have no idea. Oh, it's Baker Street. How'd you know that? It's in the stories, of course. 221B Baker Street. The most famous address in the world. Oh, I see. Well, there's nothing to stop us from going, I suppose. We'd better try to find out. We'd better try to find our way there before Sasato-san gets any more excited and unpredictable. Okay, we'll do that in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more content, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye, guys.